Who else is hard stuck? Who else has been hard stuck for a very, very long time? Who else is tired of hearing tank diff, tank diff, tank diff? Look, Overwatch has a competitive problem. Simply put, your competitive rank is essentially a reflection of your teammates that you get. And with that comes multiple problems. Like, if a teammate leaves, you lose points. Everybody knows that one teammate that's getting hard countered by pretty much the entire other team, yet they still won't switch, and you know you're gonna lose because of it. And it's not just your teammates. If you're solo queuing and you get paired up against a 3, 4, 5 stack, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose that. The dev's idea of your win-loss ratio being 50-50 is actually kind of backfiring in this current competitive system. So, how do we fix this? First thing, stop giving points based off of wins and losses. Players have an average for a reason. That's how they averagely play. So take that instead of winning and losing. Use that compared to the opposing team's averages so that you know, okay, they're a little bit higher, they're a little bit lower, so you can determine who's the underdog and who's the favored. But if you take a player's average and they are completely in the wrong tier, like too low or whatever, they're going to perform much, much better than everybody else in that lobby. But in the current system, if his team loses, it doesn't matter how well he plays. He could be doing practically everything. He could be playing at 100% top of his game, doing everything that he can. But at the end of the day, Overwatch is a team-based game, and you can't 1v5. I mean, just stop. Okay, I hear it, I know. They are exceptions. And then vice versa. If you're in the wrong rank, you're too high for some reason, like tanks. There's not that many tanks right now because they're afraid of playing and hearing the tank diff and getting bashed on, so no new tanks are coming in, and the old tanks are just getting these random ranks due to the team ranking system, basically, in competitive. So with this new system in place, even if this tank wins with a team, but he's kind of lagging behind a little bit, the game will sense that, and instead of giving him points because he won, it'll bring him back down towards where he needs to go. Yeah, it's not going to be in one game going from plat all the way down to silver or something like that, but gradually it'll be able to bring them down. Another thing that they can do, and this is more of like a bonus and a pet peeve of mine, I guess, is change the scoreboard, please. Nobody cares about mitigation. Nobody counts. Oh, he did 4,000 mitigation. That's a good team. Nobody's looking at that. The majority of the players are looking at the other stats and play the game, whatever. Mitigation has no reason of being there. Instead, replace mitigation with healing received. That way, when somebody starts complaining that they're not getting healed, you can actually tell if they're right or wrong. It will stop so many arguments and so many people from throwing or trolling or just leaving because their DPS is bitching at them, their tank is bitching at them, or the supports just aren't doing what they're supposed to. And honestly, I hate to say it, but I think we have to go back to 6v6. Like I said, new tanks aren't coming in. I don't think people are trying to be a tank, like me included. This is my personal thought process, because I don't want to hear that tank diff. And practically every single game that you play is a tank diff. Like, either you're rolling their tank or their tank is rolling you. And there's just nothing that you can do about it. And your teammates bitch at you because tank diff. But you have your team rank instead of an individual rank. If we went back to 6v6, then more players would be inclined to try tank because they have that other player playing tank that could be the main tank, or that at least knows tank and they can fall back on as basically as somebody they support them, instead of trying to just tank the entire thing by themselves. But going back to 6v6 is a whole nother story, because then what was the point of going to Overwatch 2? No. If they reverted it, so there's issues there with that. All in all, Overwatch has a competitive problem. We need to stop giving points based off of wins and losses and start rewarding people based off their individual plays. If they're doing better than their average, then they should be getting more points. If they're doing less than their average, then they should be getting less points. You can take into account the win or the loss, but don't make that the primary point source. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys for joining me for my first Gamers Exchange video. I did one like 2 years ago, but I don't really count that. So thank you guys for anybody that tuned in. And if that guy from the Overwatch match with the robot push, you were Soldier and Bastion, I was more, you know who you are. Hi. Peace out, Girl Scouts.